Bashers. Well, I scheduled the last minute show because I was home and I am so caffeinated out of my gourd. I mean, I woke up at like 7 o'clock. I had a double or triple espresso. I don't remember at this point. And then I went downstairs. I got Rose. I made her coffee. I fed the cat. Then we got there. I'm going to be very vague about the whole thing. And had to go to Starbucks. Sorry, guys. I had to because that's all there was. Had another triple. Then I had an iced coffee. Came home, made myself a Drew B coffee. Coffee galore. Coffee, and more coffee. So I'm out of my mind coffee. And I just figured I needed a little normalcy, a little bit of friendly fire after today's display of horrific human traits and despicable, grotesque lack of humanity. But it didn't go so badly. It's ongoing. We're going to be back there probably in another 2 months, which is great that it didn't end today and didn't go their way or our way, but it went away. And and it was good. And I actually got to get on the stand today. I won't say anything about that because I can't, but it was very interesting. It's really, really beautiful thing to tell the truth. It's kind of it's hard to describe. I've never had to do that in my life. And it's a very kind of interesting experience where you get to tell a true story against people who are making up horrible things and saying terrible things about a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful person. And so that was what it was like. It was pretty rough. And it was all day. And so that's why I sent out that little message, because they had broken for lunch, or they were breaking for lunch, and it didn't look like there was any way we were going to get anything done at all. I got to get in there for a little while, but there's so much left to do. And the process is really crazy. If anybody's ever been in that kind of situation, it's very daunting. The stress, the pre-stress, the specter. And, I'm going through that myself too, with the same people for other reasons. And when you have that level of stress, that specter, I said, like looming over your head, but once it's over, it's amazing how every muscle in your body kind of relaxes a little bit, because you feel like you did a good deed and you got to tell a little bit of the truth. And I believe that the truth will set you free. I really, truly do. I did the funniest thing ever. I made this weird coffee, and it looks crazy because I shook the living crap out of it, and it made almost like a frappuccino. It's not quite a chacarado, but it's absolutely delicious. Drew B coffee in my handsome Joe LaFaro glass. I should be grabbing one of my Scotty Love glasses and having a bottle of wine, because I could use a drink after this. But I was so worried. I was like, oh, I'm going to go home. I'm going to take a nap. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to bash. So, hey, bashers, let's start in the room. Jer O'Malley, the matriarch of the O'Malley clan. Hi, darling. How are you? Hi, hon. How did the battle go today? Well, the battle went. Dear Jer. And, I got to tell the true story of my dear friend. And, what an incredibly influential and wonderful person. One of the kindest and loveliest people, who's 87 years old. Imagine being an 87-year-old woman and trying to do terrible things to her. Imagine what level of inhumanity that is. It's just shocking to me. It's just shocking to me that could exist. We have wars and we have animal cruelty and all kinds of things that go on. But when you see children or the elderly being treated in such a way, it is truly mind-blowing, horrific. But we were there strong. She's got a lot of friends and fans and people who know and love her. And, we did what we did. We did what we could do, and it was all good. So, yeah. Sharon's here. Gorgeous. How are you? Great to see you in the room, Sharon. Kyle Pena is here, and Carlos Paggi is here, and Bert Dundee is here, and Scotty H is here, and Sharon. Everybody's excited to see Jer in the room. It's always great to see Jer in the room. matriarch supreme of the O'Malley clan, one of the most beautiful women I've ever met. That's a perfect example. Imagine like trying to do something like that to somebody like her, and Rose is considerably older than her. I mean, wow, 87 is, that is when you fluff pillows and you make a throne, and you just do the absolute best that you can, because these are the people that made the world go around for all of us. If you are a person capable of mistreating our elders, what does that say about you? What does it say? Anyway, that's my story. Anyway, Vasilios P is in the room. Hey, AP's here. He says, those are the times you realize that some people really just don't have any lines they won't cross. Well, it comes down to the almighty dollar, doesn't it? This is all predicated on money. It is all predicated on greed, and it is all predicated on inhumanity. And yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, I didn't do a Speedy theme show. I am wearing my Speedmaster today, of course, because it's Speedy Tuesday. I don't wear a watch to there. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. But because there's metal detectors and stuff, and I sail right on through because I don't wear a watch. I have my little bag. I put my bag on the thing. It's like airport. Like, I'm great with airports too. I'm in and I'm out. I mean, it's different. You put the watch, but I just don't want to go there and wear crazy watches. The opposition wears a lot of fancy watches, though, I'll tell you that much, because there's a lot of money to be had in greed, and that's a terrible thing. But anyway, look at that. It's so funny. Beautiful puppy dog. How is everybody in the room today? Yeah, I just thought I'd come on and do a show. It doesn't have to be the full show. I just thought, Speedy Tuesday is kind of a big day for us. It's the first day of the week. I'm always grateful to be here with you all. And there are some Gallery of Bastards, and I wanted to honor those because everybody sent them to me, and I think that's an important thing. How are you all doing, and who's in the room? I know it's going to be a light thing. I didn't, put it up earlier. I just sat down and I was like, you know what? I'm so caffeinated. I feel like it's time for me to just, get with the people I really like being with, and that's you all. Plus, those beautiful watches don't want to be there anyway. They definitely don't. It's very interesting. You know what I watched last night? I watched the first episode of White Lotus. Now, everybody's saying, what great. I saw a president. What did I see on the show? A bunch of crazy watches on that show. Jason Isaacs, Rolex. Everybody on that show is horrible. And I forgot because I watched the previous 2 seasons of White Lotus, the Hawaii one, and then the one that was in Sicily. And I think without Jennifer Coolidge, it's missing its heart. I have to say, they brought back that lovely woman that's the masseuse. Masseur is a man, masseuse is a woman. And she's nice and everything, but the heart of that show is Jennifer Coolidge. And she's not there. She's the comic relief. And without that there's no comedy. Starts off with this mass shooting, and I put 2 and 2 together. This very young, attractive guy is like looking for his mom. Now I figured out it's the masseuse, and she's just there on a retreat to learn the Taiwanese, not Taiwanese. What do you call people from Thailand? Thai, of course. The Thai methods of wellness and meditation and spirituality. She's there to learn and get a leg up on that. And then it's a flashback. So then they flash back to 1 week earlier, and it's Jason Isaacs. You guys know him from everywhere. And him and his vapid, horrible family, Parker Posey, whom I love, who seems impossible to like. Her kids are brats. They're all these collegiate Ivy League jackasses, except the daughter seems to be spiritual and beautiful. And then it's got a whole potpourri of Walton Goggins, who I really like. He's just an asshole. And he's got this really cute girl with funny teeth, and she's adorable and clever and fun. And he's a criminal, I guess. But everybody's got crazy ass watches on the show. So I'll be watching the show just to see. I think there's a couple of episodes on. So tonight we'll probably be watching the first episode was not good. It was not good writing. It was not engaging. Characters. There's nobody there. Obviously somebody's going to wind up dead. And so far you kind of hope it's all of them because they're all kind of shit. Except for the daughter and of course the masseuse because she's lovely. But man, Mike White, I know he won a lot of Emmy awards and a lot of stuff for great writing. That first episode not so good, and no Jennifer Coolidge because his explanation for nobody wanted her dead at the end of that last episode of the Sicilian one, the Taormina season. Nobody wanted her dead. Nobody, because we all love her. Jennifer Coolidge, she's crazy. He said we killed her because that's the way she would have wanted to go out. And fuck no, she wouldn't have wanted to go out. She would have beat the shit out of those crazy ass queens, those mean guys that were trying to murder her for her money. And she should be on the show. It's a shame. Like they should have pretended that they faked her death because she was a billionaireess. Yeah, without her, I think it's lost its heart. We'll see. I'll see it as it goes on. Hopefully it'll get better. But Parker Posey, who's one of the funniest, oddest people in the world, just seems to be like Molly Shannon was the last time. She was this kind of vapid rich, because let's face it, this show is all about super rich people getting what they deserve because they're all ensconced in their own little vapid worlds. But there's some cool watches, and I'll look at it for the watches. I mean, who doesn't love a gold president? They're beautiful. Let me see what else was on there. That'd be fun. We'll talk about a little bit about watches. White Lotus, LLCUS season 3 wrist watches. I know I'm just not remembering them now because today was so long. Oh, somebody had a Milgauss on? Oh, Patrick Schwarzenegger had a Milgauss on. Oh boy. How cool is that? Let me see what else was on there. There was a whole bunch. There's probably articles galore. What watch is Shane? Rusted brown crocodile. Stainless Conquistador with a white dial. Oh, that was Shane from last year. Let's see. Interesting. Let's go to Watch ID. We'll go take a look at that, which is pretty cool. Hey Nader. Hey Nader. Great to see you in the room. Hey buddy boy. Vasilios P says it's great to tell the truth. Man, is it ever great to tell the truth, especially when people are liars. Look at this. Patrick Schwarzenegger, who's a jackass. This guy, first of all, there's some very creepy weirdness going on with his brother and sister. There's like weird sexual things going on. And I just was looking at Paul going, whoa, nobody talks to their brother or sister like that. Ew. He was talking about, I don't even want to tell you what he was talking about. He's talking about his sister. Ugh. Patrick Schwarzenegger wears a Rolex Milgauss watch in episode 1 of The White Lotus, and we're not sure exactly which model reference he's wearing. Oh, yeah. He also wears, listen, anybody who wears a Milgauss and wears a Big Bang should be shot. Ew, a Big Bang Unico. Gross. Oh, my God. We're not sure which reference it is. Let's blow this picture up. Oh, boy. Oh, brother, bread and butter. What do you mean you don't know what reference that is? That's so stupid. But, hey, maybe if this show's really... they did get it, though. They figured it out. Huh? They did figure it out. We're not sure 100%, but possible candidate is the Rolex Milgauss Oyster Perpetual Black Dial Green Crystal 116400GV. Yep, that's the one. That's my favorite one. A couple of guys were talking the other night about the Milgausses because, everybody's having their Rolex predictions. I'm not big enough of a watch. I'm not a watch channel anymore, but I do keep my eyes on what's happening with that stuff. Even though I'm a Speedmaster guy, I'm also a Milgauss guy. Everybody's talking about the Milgauss returning, and if it does, they're gonna scale down the case. They're gonna take away the Faraday cage. It's just gonna be. Meanwhile, my version didn't even need a Faraday cage in it anyway because it's got a parachrome hairspring. Blah 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 blah. It's pretty much amagnetic already, or it was, but that's what they're going to do. And I hope they keep the green crystal, or maybe I don't. Maybe, it's not that it's an investor piece for me because it's not. I'll never get rid of it. But Uh-oh. Carolyn Merton, the girl with the wrench, is in the room. I am selling all my Rolexes now that they've picked Leonardo DiCaprio as an ambassador. I cannot think of a worse pick if I tried. Oh, no. See, I love this. I was out of, you can't use your phones all day long, so I was off out of the loop. Let's see. DiCaprio Rolex. I did not know that. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Leonardo DiCaprio officially joins Team Rolex. There we go. Oh, okay. Let's see what it says here. Let's have a looky look. What's he doing here? Okay, he's got a Daytona on. Okay, big deal. The actor and Daytona guy now has full access to the Crown's catalog. Leo DiCaprio is attached to several exciting projects right now. He's starring in Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another with Tania Taylor. I don't know who that is. And might be working with director Damien Chazelle to play Evel Knievel. That's a great role for him. I think he looks nothing like him, but who cares? The latest big name DiCaprio is teaming up with is none other than Rolex. The immediate dividend of this partnership is that DiCaprio should have access to Rolex's full catalog. Now, anybody who knows, and Carolyn Martin certainly knows, that you might have access to it, but I know for a fact that they do not just throw even the king of Rolex. Who's the king of Rolex? Roger freaking Federer. He buys his own Rolexes. Yeah, he can go into the thing. It's not like Daniel Craig. Omega's a different thing. We all know that. As much as an Omega fanboy that I am, we all know that Rolex is in a different league, money, financially, all that stuff. So Rolex just gives their shit away, but Omega just gives it away. Rolex doesn't. Think of partners like director James Cameron, Rolex prototype. Okay, this is interesting. Is there an official picture of him with it? Reach for the crown. Oh no. Let's watch. I'll turn the sound down. We'll just have a look at it. Oh gosh. What do we got here? Let me blow this up. Well, Tiger, sure. I don't know who that guy is. There's Roger. Okay. All right. Is it going to freeze on me? Why are you freezing on me? There it goes. All right. Yeah. Oh, that's from The Great Gatsby. Wow. Okay. America's Cup. I mean, listen, guys, that belongs to Omega. That does not belong to Rolex. This is pretty cool. This is Roger crying. Of course, we love that. Who are these people? Oof, man, that's dangerous. This is a cool new ad because they're about to dump the whole thing. What do I think they're coming out? Do I think they're coming out with a solid gold Explorer? No. Do I think they're coming out with a solid gold Deep Sea? No, I don't. Very interesting. Okay, reach for the crown. I mean, listen, he's a big star. Why not? Why not? You know, it's pretty cool, I guess. Turnograph roulette date. Who doesn't want that, Vasilios? I love vintage Rolex. Who doesn't? It could be dirty and gritty, but man, the roulette dial is my man. My friend Mike has one of those on his Datejust, and it is sexy. Sharon's got it. Oh, she's sad. The good news is he won't keep any watch that's over 20. But psh, that's true. Anything that's, you know what? Leonardo DiCaprio is definitely not into vintage. That's for sure. You know, she's laughing. Renaissance. Hello, Julian. Wonderful to see you. If you place the imperfect next to the perfect, people will see the difference between the one and the other. But you offer the imperfect alone, people are only too apt to be satisfied by it. Wow, that's fucked up. I think of myself as an explorer who has spent his life on a long voyage of discovery. I believe that, and I hope that I can rise to that challenge. Why limit yourself to what your eye see when you have an opportunity to extend your vision? Beautiful. And a lifetime can well be spent correcting and improving one's own faults without bothering about others. That's probably one of the most difficult things in the world, though, dearest Julian. People are always looking over the fence, trying to wonder out, like, oh, what's he wearing? What's she wearing? What are they making? Instead of just trying to carve your best foot forward and create a niche for yourself. I mean, I should have that. I mean, I used to look at bands when my band was trying to achieve stuff. We were never one of those bands that were like, let's have hit records. We were always just wanted to be on enough of an even schedule where we could continue, to do what we love to do, album tour, that kind of stuff. And eventually it didn't work out. And that's a shame because there are a lot of bands, but in hindsight, which is 2020, I have to say that I wouldn't know or have. I wouldn't have had the dogs and cats, the poles in my life. I wouldn't have had that stuff had I, as a young person, been making record tour, because you're never anywhere long enough to develop a relationship or let alone have a cat. And wouldn't that suck? You know, I got to stay home a lot and nurture the loves of my life, which I'm grateful for. You know, I'm grateful for. AP says they'll do another Sprite and just keep moving the crown around so it'll be at 12 o'clock like a pocket watch. Well, they might do right hand drive, I guess, right? They might do that with the Sprite. I mean, the Sprite was more popular than anybody would have known, and and I'm a lefty. I'm wearing my watch on my right hand because I'm doing the show, but I'm a lefty and I wear my watch on my right hand. Somebody's at my door. Can you hold on 1 second, please? Ladies and gentlemen, hold the phone. I'll be right back. Rose got locked out of her house. I'll be right back. Well, that was great. Headphones. I can't believe there's people still in the room. Sorry, guys. Wow. 3 flights. Rose saw a cat outside and she went to bring it. She went to bring it food. And she had different pants on. Her keys were in her pocket. So she ran out the door and the door slammed behind her and she got locked outside. Oh my God. Anyway, thank you for hanging around here. That's very sweet of you. Today was not fun. That poor girl, this lovely girl from downstairs, she goes, do you know a white-haired blonde grandma? It's like, yeah. She goes, she's locked out of her house. And I go downstairs and holy smokes. Okay, catch my breath. Okay, back to the show. God, unbelievable. And I said, what happened to you? She goes, there was a cat outside and I went to bring in a can of food. I said, you don't, she goes, I was feeding the cats. She doesn't feed the cats across the street anymore. She doesn't. She has one cat that comes to her back door, who's not her cat, named Bubble, and she feeds that cat every single day. And that cat goes and whores itself all over the back houses. But it's special, and she loves the cat. And what are you going to do? But she saw a cat out the window and she went to bring it some food and she didn't realize because this morning we changed her. She loves her favorite jeans. I changed her into something more appropriate for court. And anyway, what wound up happening is she walked outside and didn't have her keys. So that's my story. Anyway, what were we talking about? Renaissance, ours is the time of the machine, and ours is a need to know that the machine can be put to creative human effort. If not, the machine can destroy us. Well, the machine's about to destroy us. Did you see? Now, I just found out that Kate Bush and a bunch of other people, a lot of different artists, put out a record today called Is This What We Want? I should actually go look that up. Let's go see what that is. I just can't win today. Is my phone ringing? He's the only person that can get through. What a rough day. My phone is ringing, which is the camera for my show. I'm going to tell him what happened. Anyway, he's the only person that can actually I took care of it. My show. I was doing my show. There we go. Thank God. You know what I was going to do? If I not been so caffeined out, I probably would have fallen asleep and not woken up. And no one ever rings my bell. I'm on the 3rd floor. No one ever comes and rings my bell. They have to buzz downstairs. So it was obviously somebody within. There was this sweet girl. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on. You guys super chatted me. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Carolyn Martin says, I don't know how it's possible, but I'm the first person to super chat. Thank you, Carolyn Martin. Thank you. And $20. Thank you so much. I don't know. I'm probably going to have a heart attack today. I'm amazed I haven't had a stroke yet. And beautiful Sharon. Thank you so much, hearts. You're so sweet. Yeah, like I said that to our attorney. I was like, I'm just amazed that we haven't had strokes yet. I'm just waiting for the stroke from the stress that goes on with all of this stuff. You know, I cannot wait to just sit on a beach somewhere. Lying on a beach somewhere. I dream about us diving off a rock into another moment. Does anybody know what song that is? I know that there's 35 people in the room. Wow. Super chat gong for Sharon. Thank you so much. So Sharon says she needs a wrist bracelet with a key. You know what she has? I have air tags all over her, but they're on her keys and in her wallet, in her bag. I have one in her bag and her wallet. It's crazy. Oh, here comes a she.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Why? Do you know what just happened?
I got 100 messages to my phone on what's happened.
What do you mean you got messages on your phone?
You apparently you disappeared off your stream.
Oh, I said Rose got locked out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, but you were gone for I don't know. I
I
started getting messages like, is he okay?
Oh, well, thank you everybody for that.
And
you
then it
know,
was like, did the landlord finally come and,
and murder us all. No,
yeah, right, with police or something?
no.
Was a situation.
Here's what just happened. So yeah, we were in court all day, and I told everybody, like, I'm not obviously going to talk about what went on there, but it was, it's to be continued, but further
Yeah,
down the road. And she did very well today, but I got her up out of bed this morning at 7 o'clock. So she's been kind of like,
good, good.
she's out. But so I got home and I was caffeinated out of my mind. The only thing there is freaking Starbucks. So I was like, and Starbucks coffee is actually pretty strong because I had a bunch of big pops of that
Oh,
stuff.
the drip stuff
No,
is
I was
very
drinking.
strong.
I had the iced tea version, the
Oh
iced
yeah,
coffee of that.
strong.
It
It's
was really.
strong.
So I'm buzzing like an animal. I came home and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do a 6 o'clock show, and then somebody rings my bell, and you've been in my house 1,000 times. Somebody rings my bell in my building. That's so weird. So I answer the door, and it's a girl. The girl who lives underneath me, and she goes, "Do you know an old lady with blonde hair? It's outside. She's locked out of her house." Now, what do you mean she's locked out of her house? So I come here. I go, guys, I'll be right back. I turned my cameras off. I said, Rose got locked out. I guess they didn't hear that part. So
That's when I started getting messages because it's like, is he okay? And then I was editing, and then I went onto your stream, and there was no one. It was just my face with
Dirk
the
had
sunglasses.
the stroke because I said, I can't believe I haven't had a stroke yet from all this drama and stress that they've been putting us
Here's
through.
the issue: like when you go off,
Yeah.
when you mute and you go off, even like when I run to the fridge to grab a drink and I come back, to me it feels like a split second.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
when you watch it back, it's like an eternity because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just silence.
Well, I went downstairs. I talked to the girl on the street who said, "Oh, I heard she told me all about today and how stressful it was." You know what happened? And I just told the gang. Rose always has her AirTag and her keys in her little ticket pocket in her pants. But what did I do this morning? I pulled out a different set of pants to make her wear to look really nice today. And the keys weren't in her pants. So she saw a cat out the window, and she went out to go give it a can of food, and the door slammed behind her. So she got locked out, but she's okay. And she wasn't like, she was fine. I just said, what happened? She goes, I don't have my keys. And they were in her pants.
How'd you get the keys? Do you have keys?
Of course I have her keys.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, of course I do.
Gosh, she has you. She'd be dead by
got her
now.
keys. Yeah,
Oh
and I have these. I put air tags on all my keys, and believe me, I've used them.
Yeah,
she's got them. She's got one in her bag. She's got one on her keychain. I've got her all air tag because a couple of years ago she fell. She was out shopping and she fell. This is before, now she doesn't really go anywhere, but she fell. And I didn't have air tags and I didn't know where she was. Somebody said, your friend Rose got hurt today. And I said, what? And I wound up, these people found her and brought her home. We took her to the hospital. She was in the hospital for a week and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it was just, she got locked out and she just didn't know how to get back in. But she said to all the people on the street, does anybody know Dirk and Paul? And she tried to ring my bell down. My bell's been broken for years. It's been broken for years. So like that's why they ring everybody else. If I have a package, they ring everybody else's bell.
I saw your thing earlier. I was online and I saw your little
I'm not doing a show tonight.
Yeah, I'm not doing a show. I'm in court. You were in the courthouse when you recorded that.
I was.
You were in that was on Stuffin Boulevard, right?
Yes.
Yes, I've been in that building.
Yeah.
And I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
And then next thing I start getting texts going, is he okay? He disappeared. What's happened? Did they come to get him? I'm like, what? Who? What? I was like, so I got freaked out. Anyway.
I mean, we got home from court and I made her macaroni and cheese and got her settled. We fed Bubble and I made her bed because, this morning we just left. And she seemed really great. She was eating her dinner, and I was like, "Okay, I'll come because I have to go out and get her some oatmeal. She loves McCann's Irish steel cut oatmeal. That's her favorite." So
nice.
he said, "Oh, Dirk, I'm out of that." I said, "I'll go get you some after my show." I said, "I'm going to go do my show," and then I didn't realize that she looked out the window and saw a stray cat. So okay. At first I was like, "Oh no!" Like, is she having one of those senior moments? She wasn't. She was just locked out.
Oh.
So I put pause camera, pause mic, and I just ran downstairs.
Yeah.
So sorry, everybody, but Dirk didn't have the stroke. Not yet, at least.
I think everybody's just happy like the cops didn't come for some
No,
reason.
no, 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 no. They can't. They can't. There's
No.
nothing. There's no reason for that at all. It was just, like, I'm not going to talk about it online because obviously it's a court case. But I testified today, I loved it.
So they went to trial with that stuff.
Not with me.
You're
With her.
You're allowed to say, not with you, with her.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that they
Yeah.
went to trial. Okay,
I did.
so it's
Yeah.
in trial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I loved telling the truth. I loved it. I
Yeah.
love telling the story of how it really is.
And they let you say what you wanted to say. They didn't stop you.
I was stopped twice. Because,
Right,
I could talk a dog off a meat truck.
Absolutely. But we love that. And that's up to the lawyer to stop you and ask you the question he wants you to answer. That's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better than yes and no answers.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
little embellishment.
I'm certainly not a yes or no person.
No.
Well, the color blue is, well, without red and blue, we wouldn't have purple.
And how do you feel about how it came out?
Like I said, the Spectre.
To be continued.
Who the first person to chat on the show today was your mom.
Ah.
I explained that when you have the specter looming over your head of what's going to happen, do we have to make an appearance, are you going to testify, all this stuff, it is so physically bad for you. You feel every muscle in your body is tense and you don't sleep. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I think I fell asleep for like maybe a half an hour. And I just couldn't sleep. But the second you get out of there and that doomsday didn't happen, all of a sudden your muscles just relax.
Oh my God, it's a great feeling.
They just
walking out of the courthouse knowing that you won or that you're still in the clear at least.
Yeah.
And things are okay. There's this terrible feeling. Maybe we grow up with it from when we were kids, like authority for the parents or teachers or something, that we're in terrible trouble. And we get this like wrenching feeling in our guts or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it translates later into life. I was in the piazza the other day doing a live stream. It was fucking 17 cops, like all gathering after the end of the evening of the Carnivale. And I haven't done anything wrong, but I felt guilty. It didn't matter. I was like, I'm guilty. I don't know what it is I did, but I definitely did it because there's a bunch of cops there, you feel authority, over you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you wind up in court, no matter how right you are, you still get nervous.
Oh, yeah.
And lawyers, I mean, how many lawyers have I met and dealt with over the years, especially in New York? They always say, if you're looking for justice, don't go look for it in the courtroom.
Definitely not.
Yeah. You always walk into the courtroom with all your papers and your ducks in a row, and you're like, I know I'm right, but fucking who knows what's going to happen. And
they try to twist it the other way, and I mean, obviously I can't talk about it or anything like that, but I will just say that,
you can talk around it.
I really felt like I was able to tell the truth, the real actual story.
Good.
Which made me feel great. And so it was the first time I've ever had to do that. I've been there 1,000 times now because of them, but I've never had to actually do that.
So you're going for your case and for Rose.
Yes, sir.
So you got the double whammy going on. That's crazy shit.
Yep. And then they were like, well, this is going to be rescheduled. And just between you and me, I'm like, these dates are no good.
Oh, okay. Well, they have to push them.
Yeah, well, it turns out it didn't matter anyway, because it's going to be much further after that anyway.
Okay.
So. And then there's going to be a couple of like conferences in between and stuff, because
right.
at the end of the day, it's just, they're just beating a dead horse, because it's just like I was just saying, she's 87 years old. The inhumanity of anybody who could do anything as nefarious and disgraceful.
I keep telling you, a judge isn't going to do it. You're all in the preliminary stages when it finally winds up I mean, you looked at a judge today; it's already
Yeah,
in trial. But
yeah.
I don't see a judge. I don't see a judge throwing a woman like that out on the streets of New York
No,
in the
especially
cold.
when she has a right to be there, you know. But
I
anyway,
just
that's
judges don't like doing that shit.
yeah, they don't. No, they of course they don't because yes, they have to follow the letter of the law. That's their job. But
Sure.
also then they have to, I guess, live with
Yeah.
the consequences and the ramifications, the psychological ramifications of, putting somebody out. So yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
It's all fun. But yeah, it was fun. AP says that being in court with the truth is like being in a zombie apocalypse with a pocket knife sometimes. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's hey Melly C. Sorry. Did you miss my quick departure? Sorry about that. DG wants the crazy Dirk clip. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's a fun one. Here it is. This made me go. Yeah, so I just thought I'd jump on for an hour or so and just and
Okay.
now I feel like, now I'm gonna keep the show to an hour ish because
Yeah,
like
why
I
not?
want to go double check on her and make sure that she's fine because she got so rattled today and then got locked out of her home. And listen, I got locked out of my house last week, and you know who had my key? Rose.
Ah, look at that.
Because we've been neighbors for 35 years. You know, the neighbors that I know and trust, and the people that I've been friends with for years, they all have a set of my keys. You know,
Andrea has a set of my keys.
yeah, of
And the other
course.
set is with Lydia, and she's in Milan. So, and I got locked out like months ago.
Oh,
I
you
was like,
did?
oh shit! I went to Andrea, and he had a set of keys, and he let me in. And then he goes, "Would you like me to give you these keys, or should I keep them?" And I was like, "Clearly, you should keep them.
Clearly, you should keep
For
them.
this reason, exactly. Don't give them to me." But yeah.
Yeah, somebody listen. And I actually got locked out of my upstairs door, not my downstairs door. And I went, oh shit. And I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? Because, it's different from the old days where I could just go up on the roof and climb down my fire escape. And
Right.
I don't have access to the roof anymore because the dragons, they won't let me
Right.
in anymore. It's
Okay.
it's all blocked off. It's like, we live in Stalag 17 now.
Yeah.
This was like it was practically ours. We had the run of the place.
Stalag Luft.
Yeah,
Stalag Luft
yeah,
17.
yeah. So I didn't have those options, so I went downstairs, and she said, "Of course I do." And she just went into her little drawer in a little basket, and she had a little key on it, and it said
Oh,
Dirk,
that's
Dirk
always
on it.
so good.
Yeah,
Community is so important.
so important.
That's why I
Without
love
community, we're
these.
nothing.
Yeah, I love these old streets where everybody knows everybody. You run out of sugar, the next door neighbor gives you a bag,
Oh yeah.
etc., etc. Like I love all of that stuff. Everybody's watching out for everyone else. That's a great thing. I don't know if we have much of that these days.
Well,
You
certainly
know,
the new people in my neighborhood are trying to destroy that because we had it. Even when Rose was put downstairs and Moose moved into my apartment, the apartment across the hall. Another great friend I'll know for the rest of my life. A big watch
right?
guy, big Rolex guy,
Yeah,
and he's got. I was just mentioned his watch before. He has that beautiful date just with the roulette dial. God, I love that watch. Remember that? It's 36.
nice.
Love that watch. And then
With
he got
the
the
roulette
present.
date.
Yeah, the roulette date. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he got for his wedding, he got the full gold president, baby. He got it
nice.
with onyx indices. I was like, that's so Greek. So he's a big and look, we would leave our doors open and he'd be like, oh, I just wanted to go. I'd come home and he'd be out on my deck having a drink. I'm like, hey, where's Paul? He's like, oh, he's in the other room, but sitting outside. How many great dinners we had out there. And I'd knock on the door. Hey guys, cocktails?
You gotta miss having him next door, huh?
Well, he's been gone for four, how many years now? 4
He's been
years?
replaced by the Dragon Lady.
Shoop. Yep. That's no,
Yeah.
yeah. There's nobody going over there for sugar.
God.
Yeah. There's no sugar. There's no sugar in that tank whatsoever.
Even when I was back in Ireland, like certain people would call in on my mom while I was there, they'd call in, hey, Jer, you all right? And she'd be like, my son's here. you know, and they'd say hello. One chap came in the back door one day and he shook my hand. I have no idea who he was. I don't have a memory.
But he's
He
a friend on
remembered
your
me.
mom's street.
No, he remembered me from years ago. I just didn't know
Oh,
him. I feel awful. And I was like, oh, hey, you know, I just kind of pretended. I was like, oh, good to see you. And he was like, yeah, come over to see her ma. See if she's okay. And that's a nice sense of community on the street,
oh God, it is.
you know?
I would walk out you know, Pat and Bubba are down the street, and Rose and Layla, all the people that we've known forever and ever and ever. We would just stand out in front of our houses and sit on our stoops and just talk for hours and
Yeah.
hours. I know everybody's birthday. They know, you know, they send flowers when my parents died. You know, this.
Also, if there's any shenanigans going on here in Italy, they say the best security cameras are the old ladies.
Well, sure,
because the old ladies are watching
they're all
everyone's
watching.
movement. They're up at 6 a.m. So they're seeing every movement on the street. They know if some car or delivery truck comes down 10 minutes late than normal, they know.
They
And
know
they'll
all
tell
that.
you. And if there's someone weird hanging around the neighborhood, they'll know. They'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
there's that weird guy again, or you know,
Yeah.
and then
Hey, she'll be on the phone to her son or her daughter and saying, "There's a guy with a green hat, and he's been lurking
I
around.
don't like him. I don't like him. I
Yeah.
don't like the look of him.
Call
You know?
Josephina now, because you know what? Her dogs are in the yard, and who knows what's wrong with them? And the
Who
kids are
knows?
there.
You never know.
Oh my God! Antoinette yelled at him last night. You know, remember? This is just so ridiculously inside, but on Vernon Boulevard, in between your block, but on the opposite side, there was that old lady, and Paul knows her name. I don't remember it. She would always be sitting at the window, staring at everybody like this, and she'd be like, "Hey, you guys, you're making too much fucking noise." On Vernon,
Yeah.
and she'd always be in the center window. And say, "You guys are making too much fucking noise. Do you know what? This is a family neighborhood." She'd have a little pillow or a blanket on the windowsill, and she'd be staring out the window. "Hey, yous, stay away from that bicycle.
Was she
not
involved
yours."
that like an old Italian Istria place or whatever
yes,
it was?
That window.
That place was Donnie Brasco. There was a phone box at the back of the room.
Yeah.
It was like I got sent for.
Yeah.
I remember going by there, seeing boys like playing cards, going,
in the back. Yeah.
This is Donnie Brasco shit. This is old school stuff, and there's a phone, like a pay phone.
Oh,
at
yeah,
the back
phone
at the end of the room.
in the back. Yeah,
Donnie, I got sent for. You get sent for. You know,
that's pretty good.
You go in and you, what is it? You don't come out, and it's your best friend that does it. You know, it's like that. It was like that whole vibe. I was like, this is for real. This is not a joke.
I'm gonna blow your mind now. Did you ever sit in that dining room and eat?
Never.
Where the bar was?
Walked into that. I was terrified of that.
Oh, it was so good.
What was the community it was from? It was from somewhere in some tiny town in southern Italy.
Oh yeah, they were like from Salerno or somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was like some sign, and I was like, oh my
the sign
God,
said oil,
so old school.
Oil heats best on top of the bar. There were two oil, like, you know, when you go past an oil refinery and they have those silos, and they had three of them over the bar, and it said oil heats best. And then if you went in the back, the old lady, the strega in the back, would be making the pizza. They had amazing, not New York pizza. They had a coal oven in the back. They made real pizza back
from
there. From the south. Bubbly and doughy and the whole big thing. And you could only get one kind, margarita.
Margarita is the only pizza. If you're getting real pizza, that's the only pizza.
It's the only one I wanted.
I never went in there. I never had the courage.
It was good.
Because I felt like I'd open the door, and the like a bell would ring, and there'd be just a bunch of old guys at the table. It would be like fucking Donnie Brasco.
There were guys in the back doing
like one guy like hammering at a
Oh, yeah.
parking meter trying to get the coins out of it or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the feeling I always got when I walk past there.
It was just And it's a shame because now it's some kind of trendy called like Kings and Queens, and it's
That's
like,
gone.
it's gone. But they named the street after that guy, the guy that ran that place. So that family owns. Well, this whole neighborhood was all Southern Italians owned the whole. Jonna and her gang from Manducati's, and all
Yeah,
those families owned the whole. It was a mafioso neighborhood, but that place
totally.
was great. And it was, and the grandma was in the back, and she was making pizza, and people didn't even know because pizza wasn't on the menu. But if you knew the restaurant, grandma would go making pizza. 900-degree wood oven in the back.
Wow.
And it was like you'd order a pizza and would come
I
out
missed
like
it.
3 minutes later.
I was there 7 years. I never went to that place
It was
once.
great. But you used to go to McRiley's though. McRiley's was
Right.
great.
Well, yeah. Well, the Irish on the other side of the street. That's, it's mashed potatoes and peas and
They
a
had
bit
it
of
all.
meat. It was a different thing. These guys were like playing cards, and
Oh
there was that
no, there
phone
was,
box, and I was like, I'm not going in there because I'm not welcome.
you
You
could
know.
bet on the quick pick in the restaurant. They had the New York Lotto quick pick where
Mhm.
you pay for it now, but you could bet with those guys on the quick pick.
Oh shit.
So not go through the lottery system. You could pay those guys. You didn't have to pay them. You go, "Oh, we'll just do it," and those guys would just take your money. It was incredible.
Wow.
Casino. That was I loved that place. It's a shame. It's all gone now. There's a Starbucks here now too.
I saw that when I was there. Yeah. I was in there actually. I was waiting for the train. There was a bit of time, and I was freezing
Yeah.
cold, and I was like, I'll take a coffee. Service was all awful,
Yeah.
and so I walked out of there. That was Dorian's Diner.
It was Dorian's. And Dorian's Diner, when I first moved here 800 years ago, it was terrific. You remember when it was great. And then they changed owners and they beat it into the ground.
Dorian's was great.
Yeah, it was great in the beginning. Like it got shitty like the last 2 or 3 years because they had sold it. And the people were not diner people. They weren't Greek. They didn't know how to do it, because a real diner is a Greek diner.
I used to get the Hun in there.
Oh, did you?
What would you like, Hun?
Oh, the Huns. Hey,
How you doing,
hey, how
Hun?
you doing, hun?
How you doing, Hun?
Let me get two flips upside
Yeah.
down with a
Yeah.
big dash of turnip.
Like the eggs, Hun.
Yeah. How do you like your eggs?
And that was it was so New York.
Joey,
I spent
whiskey
hours
down,
and
burn
hours.
them. All the diner
Very
chat.
Dorian was like, yeah,
Whiskey down means rye toast.
rye toast.
Whiskey down, burn them. I mean, we still have the Court Square diner. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I took Emmett there last time.
I was there.
Yeah, you were.
Had
Yeah,
pancakes.
yeah. Oh, it's
Just like when I was there last time,
Oh.
a couple of months ago.
like where could you find a pancake in Italy? They look at that like, what is that?
Not real. No, not real.
No.
No, it was nice to go in and get pancakes with all that maple syrup and all that stuff. It was good.
Right. Now, did the maple syrup come in a vessel, or was it in those tiny
And the
little
vessel you
plastic?
pull, and there's the slider.
Oh, that's good.
You pull
That's a
back
good
your
diner.
phone. There's a steel slider.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
old fashioned. That's the great thing about New York.
Yeah.
America in general, it's all stuck in the 70s. Everything's in the 70s. They hand you a glass with your orange juice, and it looks like it's been there 40 years.
Yeah, it's cloudy and scratched.
Yeah, it's all scratched to hell.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
kind of amberish looking.
Yeah, and I even felt weird paying with card because cash was always king,
Yeah.
New York always felt like I was back in time, like 30 years. Europe feels all modern and synchronized, and America feels old school.
America was the
Old
last place to
school.
get the whole tappy thing because
Mhm.
2002, I'm trying to remember when we all went to Paris, me, Paul, Jewel, Dad, and we went to Cafe de Magot, very famous. It's touristy, but it's a classic brasserie there. But people like to go. And I'll never forget, we're sitting outside and Julie asked for the bill, and the girl came out with a device to stick your card in it. And
The swiper?
no, like to stick your card in it.
Oh yeah, sure.
And she goes, "What's that?" I worked in a restaurant and I'd never even heard of it. We'd never seen that in America yet. It wasn't quite tapping yet. Obviously, the near field shit hadn't happened yet, but it was like, remember when the credit cards had the little chip where you slide it in instead of tapping it? Well, it had that. And Julie's like, none of my cards have that because we didn't. I remember when I first got that. that card
Uh,
that had the little chip in it. And that
uh.
was probably 2009, 10. Yeah, Europe has always been a little bit their internet, all that stuff, you know. But no pancakes.
Hey, you gotta love each culture. I remember
Yeah.
my friend here, American military guy here in Italy, in Vicenza, saying he was going through stuff with his wife, and I'm not revealing too much, I hope, but he was like, here in Italy, it's so much easier to cheat because you guys have texting, and this was back when you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
you had to
Yeah.
text on the.
Yeah.
You had to double
One, one,
click
one,
for
two,
a.
two, three,
Yeah, you
three,
had to
three.
do all of that, but the Americans didn't have SMS texting yet. So he was able to text a girlfriend. He went back to the States and he was like, there's no texting here. It's so much harder to be unfaithful.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was like, yeah, the Europeans are like ahead because we had SMS texting.
That's so weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Daniel Gutierrez says no ice. You know, it doesn't matter to me because I hate ice.
Plenty of ice, but not as much as.
Yeah.
See, the
No, I mean,
Americans will
ice
put
is a
ice all the
problem.
way. They'll fill the glass and then they'll pour the drink in.
They won't fill the glass.
But well, it'll be a lot of ice, and then they'll pour the drink in. But you know,
O'Sheen forgot about what a lot of ice is because he doesn't live in America anymore. A lot of ice is the entire glass of ice.
The entire glass. They fill the glass with ice.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They fill the glass with ice, then they pour the drink in. So you only get a certain amount of drink, but there's refills, so who cares, right? You get a refill of Diet Coke or whatever at the diner. Sure. That's fine. Refill coffee, fantastic, right?
Yeah, necessary.
You know, that's a new thing over here, the refills.
It is.
Happen in certain, it does happen in certain places. Yeah, it's nice.
It doesn't make any sense to me because coffee in especially in Italy is so individual. You know, it's not a big
there's no refills in coffee because
how could it be?
They don't. That's not a thing they do. You have your one coffee and that's it, right? It's like getting a jab in your arm. What, you need a second jab? Like you don't need that. No. So it's the same thing. But in America, like they fill up the glass with ice and then they pour the drink in. Whereas over here, they pour the drink and then they add ice.
Yeah.
And it's not quite the same, especially on a hot summer's day when you want the ice to like burn your head off. You know?
Dana complained when we were in London together. We went out for a gin and tonic, and she goes, "What's wrong with this drink?" And I was looking at it, and I was like, "She's like,
no ice.
There's one ice cube in it." She goes, "Am I crazy? I like cold gin and tonics." I mean, it's definitely the British with the ice. I personally am not a fan of ice, other than like even in a spritz, I like a minimal amount of ice because I think ice dilutes the drinks. So I certainly don't like, I'm a Diet Coke addict. I've never put ice in my drink. People are like, you don't like ice? I don't really care for it. But what Paul explained to me years and years ago is that electricity and refrigeration is the most expensive thing in Europe. And they're very conservative with energy in Europe, and they always have been.
It's not the
reason. It was
though.
Not now. It's not maybe, but it was for sure because, the infrastructure after World War II, it was hard. Now they're space age, but back then, like the whole place was blown to smithereens.
They don't like extremes here. If I get a Spremuta d'Arancia, which is a freshly squeezed orange juice here, it's not icy cold. It's cold, but it's not icy cold. They don't like the extremes here. That's the weird thing. Like extreme cold in your drink, they don't get it. That's what it comes down to. I think it's cultural.
I'm gonna have to get used to the fact that I'm addicted to
and they
air conditioning.
Hot drinks, like super hot drinks. You want a scalding hot coffee or tea?
I do.
They won't drink it. They'd be like brucha. That's burning their tongue. Yeah. They don't like that burning sensation. They're like, no, that's like. So it's those extremes they're not.
Yeah,
and
they
extreme
like it
spicy. For example, like, you go to a Mexican restaurant in New York and you want some crazy spice that blows your head off and you can't breathe and you're panting. Yeah. All that jalapeno, they don't get that here. They just don't understand. Like, why would you want to do that? These crazy mad extremes left and right, they don't get.
I have to admit, though, I love the way Italians spice their food, especially with like pepperoncino or something like that. I think it's always just the right amount. Pepperoncino, it's perfect for me. I love it. Yeah. I think I don't need. I used to love really hot stuff, but I'm too old now Now it's just I went through that Calabrian pepper shit, and it probably burnt the inside lining of my stomach out. So I don't think I could eat that stuff anymore, like Mexican food and all that stuff. You know, I like it, but I don't know. I don't. Yeah, it's so crazy. Anyway, that's my story, kids. Anyway, I'm gonna roll out of here because I want to. Now I'm feeling worried about her and all that stuff.
Absolutely, I figured I'd just come over and ask if you were okay.
Yeah, thanks for
thanks
for the community. Thank you for the community.
Nice,
which is what we have here.
We're all watching out. We're the old women on the street. The old women.
Yeah, you get away from that bicycle, it's nuts. Get away from there.
Oh my God, where is Dirk gone? Oh my God,
I just saw her the other day,
guys.
She goes, "Where's O'Sheen? Where has he been?" I said, "He was in New York." No, her daughter. John, do you know my brother, Anna? Yeah. Oh my God,
Anna.
Yeah. Oh, why he was here in New York? Oh my God.
Her mom's still alive, I assume.
I just saw her mother the other day.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
she'll live to 180.
Yeah, she was fixing the garbage lids outside.
Of course she was. Was she wearing a
smock?
Yeah, she's wearing a big flowery thing that looks
she's wearing
like
a house dress.
On a kitchen table.
Yeah, she's wearing a house dress.
Yeah, with the old varicose veins, legs sticking out. Yeah,
and she had some kind of house slipper on.
Oh my God, fucking hell! She'll never go away. And Louis died.
Yes,
Louis gone.
Louis died. My brother. Did you know him? I'm like, no, I never really knew him. I know he had a rough life, that guy. But Long Island City.
No, Louis the father.
Oh, the father.
Louis the father. The brother.
The father, I didn't know.
The brother who is.
He had issues.
Brother was not. He was not right because Louis and whatever
they're cousins.
Maria, they're cousins, right?
It's classic. No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We had people who lived here years and years and years ago. These kind of semi, oddities, and it turns out they were brother and sister.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And you know where they were from?
South Italy.
Correct.
Yeah. The super south,
yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
You think the North Italians don't have a lot to say about that? I hear it every day. Don't get them going about that.
Because all the kids were all a mess,
And all everything down there, they're just like, oh God.
As my father used to say, all those royals, they just fucked themselves into extinction.
Okay, go do your thing.
Yeah, now. Guys, thanks so much for coming in for this last minute show. O'Sheen, thanks for popping in on the show.
Man.
Thanks for everybody for hanging around while I'll do the Gallery of Bashtards tomorrow, and thanks for looking out for me, guys. Remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, Chairs for the good neighbor. Oh, thank you very much. Let's give you crazy. Remember to hold the door open, say please and thank you. And remember, if you meet somebody who's not so nice, maybe you should just tell them to go straight to hell, right? Nah, give them a chance because they could be a good person, or else they're just a Bashard.